What's going on, everyone? My name's Eric, and today we are ending the Jackson Guitars Field Day saga that we've been having on the channel. Over the last couple months, I've had two brand new Christian Andro Jackson Pro Plus signature guitars on the channel. Those are $2,500 USD guitars, and they both had terrible quality control on them. And I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone that has commented on those videos, on the posts, on the Jackson Guitars forums, who's watched and just like gave your own 2 cents on it. Thank you so much, because it's not an isolated incident. There have been other people with these guitars and just brand new Jackson guitars in general that have been having a lot of issues with them, and they're pretty expensive guitars. So with both of those guitars on my workbench, my friend eventually returned the second one, and he said that he is done with Jackson guitars. And you know, rightfully so at that point. I've ended up finding another guitar that had the same specs that he kind of wanted, minus a couple different changes, and he ended up going with that. And it's from a brand that he has been playing for at least 20 years plus at this point. So without further ado, here is the guitar that replaced the two very faulty Jackson Christian Andro guitars. This is a brand new LTD Arrow Evertune guitar. And right away I can tell you this thing looks miles better than both of those Jackson guitars that we have had on the channel here. And I also think this one is roughly $1,000 cheaper than those outgoing Jackson guitars. So let's throw this on the bench and let's take a closer look and see what this brand new LTD is all about. All right, here's the LTD right on the bench. Just came out of the box that it was shipped in. There is a hard case coming for it. Really nice cut of rosewood on the fingerboard. I'm gonna get some close-ups of the fretboard binding because there's actually no tooling marks on this, which is how a fretboard with binding should be. That is really, really nice. There is a little imperfection right there. There's one like right up here in the fretboard. The binding looks good. The side dots looking pretty good. They look pretty level with each other. Bit of a paint issue down there. So you can see the paint kind of dips. It wasn't really taped off straight. That's, yeah, a little unfortunate because this thing is around $1,600 USD, but imagine if it was, you know, $1,000 more and you had that. A little bit of plastic still in there, that is fine. Evertune, there's a little bit of markings on the Evertune right there. Not terrible. It's not like the Jackson where the inserts of here were actually rusted. Okay, interesting part about the guitar is that it's actually made in Indonesia, whereas the made in Korea guitar, which was $1,000 more, had way more issues. So hard to say if maybe Indonesia is a place to be getting your import guitars from. And we got a battery in there right from factory. And to echo a point from a few videos back, like if I bought a brand new guitar that had active pickups and didn't have a battery and wondering why it didn't sound good, that is the issue right there. So it's nice that you don't have to worry about that if you're possibly going to be buying one of these guitars. All right, let's take the back cover off of the Evertune. That's unfortunate, but that was also on the very first Jackson Christian Andro guitar that we had here. Now these screws on the second one were either not sunken in properly or one of the heads on them was actually kind of stripped. So it's nice that these are actually sitting flush as they should be. Here we go. And I believe the ground wire is kind of sitting in the back here, kind of hard to see on camera. Well, let's take a look at the wiring. There's a volume pot push-pull because you got the multi-voice on the Fishman rather than the last guitar. Looks like everything's actually soldered, unlike the second Christian Andro guitar. Okay, looks pretty standard, pretty straightforward. Let's plug it in and moment of truth, let's see if it's actually wired up. All right, and to catch you up, if you didn't see the earlier Christian Andro videos, go watch them so you understand why I'm doing this, okay? Let's find the output jack. Plug it in, moment of truth. Look at that. Oh. Look at that, the guitar works as it should. It's $1,000 cheaper than that Gojira guitar that didn't even work, and this one works and has more features. Very cool. I'm impressed. Very good first impression with a brand new LTD in 2026. Let's set it up and I'll see you for the next part. All right, and here is the LTD Arrow with the Evertune all done up. We got the action super low. Might be hard to see because my camera doesn't want to focus on the strings. It is extremely low. It is very easy to play. There's no fret buzz or anything like that. No tall or sharp frets on the guitar, just as I've been playing it to get it set up to where the owner actually wants the guitar set up. Really awesome. Evertune is super easy to set up as well. If you haven't seen my videos on how you set up Evertunes, I'm gonna link to them right now. Go check them out if you have an Evertune guitar and you wanna learn how to set it up. Outside of that, this thing pretty well checks out. So let's dive into some specs and features. We got a mahogany body, maple cap, even though it's all painted black, 3-piece maple neck through design, Evertune bridge, Fishman Modern in the bridge and the neck. We got a push-pull volume to access voice 1 and 2 on this. Some of those Fishman Moderns give you the option to have voice 3, which is a single coil, but with this wiring, you can only get voice 1 and 2, and is what it is. You could probably wire in a mini toggle switch to engage it if you wanted to. We might do that later, and I will show you how to do that. 3-way toggle switch to go between both pickups. We have a Macassar ebony fingerboard, 25.5-inch scale length design, 24 extra jumbo stainless steel frets. We kind of have like these sort of shark fin. I can't remember what ESP LTD calls these inlays, but they look great with this, you know, instead of just having your regular dot inlays. Fretboard binding is really nice as well. We don't have lumen lace side dots, but you know, that's okay. Easy fix and easy add-on if you want to. Going to the back of the guitar, we have a satin finished extra thin U-shaped ESP neck and satin finished neck, which is great. I don't think the Jackson had that, so this is a really nice feature for a guitar that is a little bit more affordable than that outgoing one. We got a reverse headstock, a little bit of foam behind the nut just to get rid of that sympathetic vibration. Non-locking Grover tuners, which is fine because the Evertune is doing the work. These tuners are basically just kind of holding the string in place while obviously you do all your tuning and stuff down here. Battery compartment you got to access using a screwdriver. Would have been nice if it had like the ashtray battery compartment that a lot of the ESP standard guitars have. Is what it is. And then to round it out, we just have some regular strap buttons on this guitar. They're non-locking, so you do have the option to put your own strap locks on it rather than being married to whatever strap locks come with your guitar if your guitar comes with it from factory. So that's kind of a nice thing as well, but also would have liked to actually see some strap locks on this in my opinion. And that's everything you need to know about the guitar. Let's plug it in. Let's hear how it sounds. right, so it should be pretty apparent at this point that I am very, very thrilled with this guitar. The guitar plays awesome. The arrow shape, this is my first time playing an arrow, very comfy in the classical position, which is kind of the only way you can play a V when you're sitting down. There's no neck dive on the guitar when you have a strap and you're playing this guitar like standing up. This guitar is very well balanced despite it being a little heavier because of the Evertune. The Fishman pickups sound great as they do in pretty much any other guitar that they come in. Would it be nice to have all 3 voices with the single coil option for the Fishmans? For sure, but that's an easy mod we can add later on down the road. The neck shape is comfy, no tall, sharp frets, really good cut of Macassar ebony. I actually thought it was rosewood because it is lighter. Would be nice to have locking tuners? For sure, but the Evertune is doing all of the work in that sense. And sure, I would have loved to have some like factory Schaller style or Dunlop style strap locks from the factory, but I can live without those things because this guitar not only shines in a lot of the specs and features that it has, this guitar completely blows those Jackson guitars out of the water with the quality and the build, the fit and finish of this guitar. The binding is awesome. There's no tooling marks on the guitar. The fret ends are actually, you know, done and dressed properly. There's no tall frets. The Evertune actually doesn't look like it's been fully worn out in some of the adjustment points down here, like on that Jackson. Taking the truss rod cover off and having to adjust the neck, the truss rod wheel in there was not rusty like we've seen on 2 brand new Jackson guitars that were $2,500 US. And even one of those guitars just didn't even work. So I did have to mention that earlier, like this guitar just works from the factory, which is, you know, obviously that should happen when you buy a guitar, it should work, but clearly not the case for that Jackson guitar. This guitar is built so much better than those 2 Jackson guitars that we had on the channel just to try and rule out if it was just a bad one and we're gonna get another one to replace it, which should be better. Not the case. We had to go for an entirely different brand with a similar style like guitar to get the guitar that we actually wanted. And we gained a couple features. We gained a neck pickup, which is kind of sweet as well. And this one is roughly $1,000 cheaper than the Jackson guitar. This one, again, made in Indonesia. The Jacksons were made in Korea. So I'm not sure, is it a factory issue? Is it the quality control when they actually get back to the main guitar name brand like warehouse before they get shipped out to the customer? Or is it on the music store to actually do a better job of quality control before they send these guitars out if they are the middle person in initiating this deal? To me, I think it's a little bit of both in the sense that a lot of these guitars are just getting rush built, a lot of corners are getting cut in some factories, whereas this guitar here just kind of checks out, minus the couple imperfections, which, you know, the owner said he can live with because it's not actually affecting the playability or the looks of the guitar too much. And yeah, this guitar is actually reflective of the price that it is being sold at. Again, it's around $1,600 USD. I can't remember if a case does come with this, but I know for sure that ordering a case with this guitar is cheaper than ordering that Jackson Christian Andro guitar. And I could probably guarantee that this guitar is going to be better built and have better quality control over those Jackson guitars, because case in point here, we went through one guitar and it's great right away outside of a couple imperfections, and a lot of the other brand new LTD guitars that I've tried in music stores and that my friends are owning, those guitars are very well built, and the quality control on those guitars actually reflects the prices that they are being sold at, and that makes me sleep easy at night. Let me know all thoughts and opinions down below. If you like videos like this, let me know. I got tons more videos like this on the channel. I also have a bunch of Guitar Hero deep dive and a bunch of guitar repair tutorials that will teach you how to fix your own guitar. If you are not subscribed, make sure you hit subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss a single video that I upload. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you next time.